Welcome to the story of King Solomon, a man of unmatched wisdom, legendary wealth, and 1,000 women in his household. Scripture tells us Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. But beyond the sheer number lies a deeper mystery, how the king who built the temple of God also became associated with magical texts, the greater and lesser keys of Solomon, that claim to unlock angelic wisdom and command legions of spirits. This is a legacy that is part history, part myth, and part occult tradition. Solomon, son of King David, reigned over Israel in the 10th century BCE. His kingdom flourished, and he was renowned for his wisdom. Stories say he could answer any riddle and discern truth from lies. Yet, Solomon's court was filled not just with advisors and priests, but with 700 wives and 300 concubines. Why so many? In the ancient world, each marriage was more than passion. It was an alliance. By marrying princesses of Egypt, Moab, Ammon, Sidon, and beyond, Solomon secured peace, trade, and influence. But these marriages also carried spiritual risk. His foreign wives introduced new gods into Jerusalem, Baal, Ashtoreth, Chemosh, and slowly, the king who built the Holy Temple also built altars to foreign deities. His wisdom could command nations, but his heart was divided. Among Solomon's many wives, a few stand out. The most famous was a daughter of Pharaoh of Egypt, a marriage that sealed an unprecedented alliance. To marry into Pharaoh's line was a mark of extraordinary prestige, but it also brought Egyptian gods and customs into Israel's capital. He also married women from the Moabites and Ammonites, alliances that later drew him into building high places to their gods, Chemosh and Molech. This act was considered one of his greatest betrayals of Israel's covenant. And then there's the legendary Queen of Sheba. While the Bible never calls her his wife, traditions in Judaism, Islam, and Ethiopia suggest a deep connection. Some say even romance. The Ethiopian Kebra Nagast goes further, claiming she bore Solomon a son, Menelik I, founding a dynasty that ruled Ethiopia for centuries. But how many children did Solomon have? Surprisingly, the Bible names only one son, Rehoboam, whose mother was Naamah the Ammonite. Rehoboam would succeed Solomon as king, though his reign saw Israel split into two kingdoms. Yet, given Solomon's 1,000 partners, it seems likely he had more children. Outside traditions, like the claim of Menelik I in Ethiopia, suggest he fathered others, though they are unnamed in Scripture. Perhaps this silence was intentional. The biblical record highlights only the heir through whom David's line would continue. Solomon was not only remembered as Israel's wisest king. Later traditions, Jewish, Christian, and Islamic, paint him as a master of hidden knowledge. Stories claim he could speak the language of animals, command the wind, and even bind spirits with a magical seal, the famed Seal of Solomon, a hexagram or pentagram symbol that became the mark of divine authority. Thus the king of many wives becomes also the king of mysteries, whose wisdom extended into realms unseen. And this is where the keys of Solomon enter the story. The Greater Key of Solomon is a medieval grimoire attributed to him, though written centuries later. It presents itself as Solomon's own record of divine wisdom given by an angel of God. The text focuses on rituals of purification, consecration, and prayer, enabling the practitioner to summon angels, harness astrological timing, and sanctify tools. Think of it as Solomon's heavenly wisdom manual, the blueprint for drawing near to divine power and channeling it responsibly. But the story doesn't end there. The Lesser Key of Solomon, also known as a Lemijton, takes us to a darker realm. The Ars Goetia section describes 72 spirits, often called demons, that Solomon bound in a brass vessel. With God's name and his magical seal, he commanded them to build his temple, fetch treasures, and reveal hidden truths. Just as Solomon's wives brought both wealth and temptation, so too did his dealings with these spirits. His story becomes a cautionary tale, immense wisdom paired with immense temptation. Solomon's 1,000 wives symbolize abundance, but also distraction. The keys symbolize wisdom and temptation, angels and demons, the heavenly and the earthly. Together, they reflect the paradox of Solomon himself, the wisest of men, who nonetheless fell into folly. King Solomon remains a towering figure, part history, part myth, part magician king. His 1,000 loves remind us of the cost of excess, while the keys attributed to him open a door to one of the most influential traditions of Western esotericism. Whether you see him as a saint, a sinner, or a sorcerer, One thing is certain. Solomon's legacy is as vast and mysterious as 1,000 voices at once filled his palace. If you enjoyed exploring the mysteries of Solomon, from his palace to his grimoires, make sure you like, subscribe, and join me next time to unlock even more secrets of ancient wisdom and hidden power.